The United States may be world leaders when it comes to sporting success, but that in itself is no accident. The system in schools and colleges places great importance on athletic achievement. As we know, Americans aren't fond of losing.
We're discussing, we're trying to do what? Undefeated.
The Public Schools Athletic League, or the PSAL as it's known, is a government-funded organisation which promotes cricket in New York schools. The response has been overwhelming.
A tremendous amount of enthusiasm. Anyone that has a passion for cricket has approached us. They want to be part of our program. They like to lend their expertise, share their knowledge, because if it makes it here in the PSAL, then it makes them feel great inside, and they get something back from that.
I made an announcement in the school, and I was surprised to have over 60 students at Aviation High School with a genuine interest in playing cricket, and I was astonished.
I love the game. I mean, I could stay on the field the whole day without eating or anything. I'm a senior in high school now, but when I was in 7th grade, I remember it was only me and my friend, two kids, played in one park. Now when I go there, I see like 2 whole teams playing there. So it's cool, a lot.
These are students that have not played other sports in the PSAL, and they probably won't play any other sport when they go into college, but we want to help create that avenue for them.
Well, my goal is to have the sports expand to the American kids, not only the kids that are of that culture, to get the American kids more interested in the sport, and I think once that is expanded, the cricket would grow even bigger in the United States.
No country develops young talent like the USA, and it's the college system that offers the best path to professionalism.
Basically, they recruit you and you come on a visit to their campus, to the college, or wherever it's at the coach at, like a big time college, and you'll meet the former players, the players that's there now, and what they do is sometimes if they really want you back, offer you a scholarship, whether it's a partial scholarship, meaning half scholarship, or a full scholarship, meaning everything of your school, food, and everything is paid for. Most of the time, if you're at a scholarship school, 30 to 40% of your team go pro, meaning if you have like 15 guys on the team, maybe 4 to 5 to 6 of them go pro, meaning overseas playing professional, or at the NBA, 1 or 2 might go to the NBA.
At this level, you know, if coaches aren't doing a good job, coaches aren't doing well, coaches lose their job and they don't get to eat unless they have to find another job. So it's really serious from the high school. Each level is so much higher and there's so much more into it. And the college is where it's kind of like the first time a lot of the kids are getting thrown into a fire and they got to meet all the expectations. Or if not, then their jobs get taken by somebody else and then they can't make it to the next level.
College teams often play in front of crowds in excess of 100,000 people, and cricket has recognised the need to create its own student competition.
To me, it's somewhat of a no-brainer to do the same thing with cricket, in as much as, of course, a lot of people might not even believe that there are cricketers in American colleges. On the contrary, there are a lot of guys in colleges who can play cricket, who've had a background in cricket. Whether they've grown up here or in other countries, the fact is they're going to American colleges, and we can utilize that, I felt. And sure enough, motivated by the fact that they now have a championship to aspire to, they are motivated and they are trying to get teams created and in turn play against each other and of course eventually hopefully win the championship. Since we're such a consumer society, almost anything that's a good product can be marketed if you do it well. And cricket has the enormous advantage that there's a ready-made target audience, that even if we just sold cricket to that target audience, it would be a big sport in the United States without comparing it to the size of another sport. It would have its audience. But then in addition to that, it can have enough of a growth from that as well, beyond that, that it'll be bigger than that initial stage. But like any product, you want to sell to your core audience. So far, we've not done so.
There is by all accounts a depth of talent making itself known, a strong under-19 team competing on the world stage and with the fearlessness of youth.
Hopes of the future is for cricket to become professional in America and to bring up the youth to take up cricket as a primary sport rather than like baseball, and for it to become an American sport.
Of course, what they lack right now is role models, a Michael Jordan or a Kobe Bryant for young Americans to aspire to.
What hasn't happened in America before is we've had under-19 teams make it to under-19 World Cups and then it fizzles. They go off to college or they become adults or they get jobs and all of a sudden there's no professional cricket for them. We need to change that, and if we can take the under-19 squad and turn them into the MTV age of heroes, and that all of a sudden this is a really cool group of guys and they've gone off and they're beating big teams, then my 15-year-olds have hope and my 13-year-olds have hope, and that's what we got to do.
There's a wealth of talent to choose from. You can't argue with the geography, and yet that makes spreading the message and tracking development all the more difficult. Its success, though, is vital.
Playing in things like World Cups and under-19s going to World Cups and stuff like that is a big part of it, because if you can show video footage of the USA playing in a World Cup game against Australia or South Africa or in a Champions Trophy game or whatever it might be, where there's 30,000 people screaming and there's advertising boards and there's television cameras, people look at it and they think, that's as serious as baseball, that's as serious as NFL, that's as serious as the basketball, because all these people go and watch. And so it's not some sort of little sport that a few mad English people and immigrants play. It's, you know, it's a proper sport. So.
But what about right now? With millions of expats from countries like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh and the Caribbean, how much ability is lying dormant? In the wake of 9/11, the New York Police Department decided to reach out and forge closer ties with different ethnic groups by creating their own cricket league.
Well, we try to get as close to the communities that we serve as we possibly can. We do that in a variety of ways. Certainly sports has been one of them. New York is the most diverse city in the world in our judgment. So we wanted to get closer, build a closer relationship to young people, particularly from South Asia and from the Caribbean. And we saw, it's obvious how popular cricket is in those communities in New York City. So the police department wanted to be a part of it. In 2008, we started our own cricket league, and we were very much encouraged by the response and the enthusiasm of all the players. We started with 6 teams. We increased to 10 teams, and I think it's been very well received. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback. I found it surprisingly enjoyable to watch because it has aspects of baseball. It has power. It has strategy and tactics as far as where you position people, and it was enjoyable.
We saw a lot of talent that we never seen before because of the NYPD Cricket League. We have kids from Bangladesh, we have kids from Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan, and we saw these kids because normally we saw West Indian people. We saw them playing cricket, and we had talented West Indian people. Now we have talent from all over the world playing in the United States. So it showboated a lot of talent that we've never seen before.
The Caribbean community have been fundamental to the growth of the game. But as we'll find out, for those in the national setup, it's been a difficult journey.